Mhm.
Welcome to Why Not Us podcast. It is a beautiful Sunday. I mean,
It's,
it's gorgeous.
it's wonderful.
Listen, today, man, y'all don't know how exciting this is for me. Like, cause I know her. Like, oh my God, it's her. So, first of all, it's your host, Ken J. How you doing? And it's my sister, Ebony Clipper. Ebony Clipper. Okay, let's talk about Ebony Clipper. Okay, Ebony Clipper is a licensed clinical professional counselor. Okay, let's
Yeah.
get that correct. Okay,
Yes.
a psychotherapist and a clinical supervisor.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Hey,
It's the keep being great
I
because
tried.
you young, gifted, and
Black
hey, boom,
and
boom, boom,
black so
boom.
fast.
And I have to tell everybody this is us, so it's not gonna be no sugarcoating. This is how we interact with each other, and that's that.
Mm-hmm.
So, Ebony, introduce yourself. First of all, how are you feeling mentally?
I'm feeling mentally out of a 10. I'm like a 9.5. I'm good.
Okay,
I'm great. I'm great.
beautiful.
Because I thought, I mean, obviously some days aren't 9.5. Some days we are 2, some days we are 5. But like right now, because I always try to say in the present, I try to say in the moment. Right now, I'm a 9.5. So that means I'm great.
I
It's
love it.
because it's about the bigger picture, right? Because some
Yes,
don't take the time to take notice of the blessings that are around us. Because I think we're taught and we learn to look at like what's not going. You feel what
yes,
I'm saying? We like,
yes,
oh, this is not going right. I'm mad at this person. This ain't working out for me. This. It's always negative, negative, negative. But then sometimes you guys take like what I do with my clients. We gotta take like a couple of steps back and be like, wait, I have so much to be thankful and grateful for, but I can't see it because the other stuff is like this. So like my hands is like this. I can see through my fingers, like the good stuff, but it's still a blocked view. You feel what I'm saying? So I work very, very hard because, even though I'm a licensed clinical professional counselor, I'm a psychotherapist, I'm a clinical mental health supervisor, take those titles away from me. And I'm Ebony Clipper. I'm human. You feel what I'm saying?
yes,
So I
yes.
acknowledge, the days when I'm like a 5 or, I'm like having my own little pity party or I'm not, myself. But then I also have to take stock and take notice like, look, my bills are paid,
Yeah.
my electricity is working, my car is right there, I got food in my refrigerator, I have a great support system. I'm able to live a life that, maybe 5 years ago, maybe even when we was in St. Aug, I couldn't even imagine living. Like, think about when we was like 17, 18.
Yeah, you was 17. I was 18. I had
Because
to just
I'm young.
yeah. You was 17. Yeah.
Yeah, I was a baby.
Mhm.
I was
Mhm.
So think about us. We were 17, 18 in Raleigh, North Carolina, St. Augustine's, and here we are today.
Man, won't them the times though?
Oh my word.
Them was the times, man. It was
We
everything.
we was having fun. Like those times, and it's so interesting to think back on it, right? Because you 38, I'm about to be 38. So when we talk about 17, 18-year-old versions of us during that time, and it makes you actually have a lot of empathy for like kids who are 17, 18 now. Because we thought that we were like, you can't tell me nothing. I don't want to hear it. I'm going to do what I want to do, and I don't care.
Yep, and I ain't going to class. I ain't going to freshman studies.
I don't even
I
think
ain't going to that chapel. I don't even know. I ain't even go to freshman studies. Like I didn't even go to class like that.
I definitely didn't go to class. I
Yeah,
mean,
we
if anyone's watching who was friends and knew us from St. Aug back then in 2002, 2003, keep keep it cute. But I know that I didn't go to class.
keep it real cute.
Keep
Like
it cute. Don't do it.
don't come for us.
Don't. But just to see the growth of that, like we're different people, and that's a blessing
Yes,
in itself.
yes,
We're still here,
yes.
healthy or healthy-ish. We have our family or whatever. And I like to think for myself, I'm doing a lot better than I was. I'm doing a lot better now than I was when I was 17, 18, because we were just out there.
Yes.
Willy-nilly. We ain't care. No consequences. We ain't even care.
We ain't even think.
We weren't thinking. We were just living our lives.
Wow.
Like, this party, we're gonna go to this club, we're gonna go to the Union, whatever. We're gonna be doing all the things.
We're going to the mall.
The mall, spending all the little bit of money that we definitely didn't have.
Yeah, but it was our freshman year, so I mean, we had the money. Had the money then because you
Mm-hmm.
what's good, cuz? Good afternoon, Talisha.
Mm-hmm.
We had the money then, but it was
Yep.
beautiful. It was beautiful. I'm just glad that I met you.
Yes.
You
Yes.
was just so awesome. You was just so loving. You was just so full of life. You wasn't judging, and I could just be my most authentic self. I could just I couldn't do no wrong in your eyes.
Exactly.
So it was the love for me, and the love's still here, and I'm just proud of you.
Thank you.
You
Thank
know what
you.
I'm saying? I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I remember the first time we met. You remember that? I think you was sitting on like a brick wall or something. It was you and Kia.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we talked about like shooting the shit. For some reason that pops out in my brain.
Yeah.
And I remember, and this was so long ago, but I remember y'all sitting there. And somehow I walked up or I was passing by and someone said something, and then it was just great. Friends, sisters.
Yep,
Just
sisters.
like that. And it was like, I want to say it was like that first like month that we were actually on campus. It was like very, very quick.
Yeah, it was it was the first month. And then we was just always together. Like we always was chilling.
Mm-hmm.
And it was good energy, man. We was always doing stuff.
Oh, we're doing the most. I mean, I have to tell you right now, I'm tired because I did so much.
You tired now?
No, because when you think back, I mean, I can only speak for myself, but when you think back, it's like, wow. And that 1 year, because I was only there for a year, because my parents had to bring my black ass back on home.
But it was okay. You know what I'm saying? It was everything.
It worked out eventually. I had my fun. I made great friends. I'm still friends with to this day.
Yes.
Same. So that's a blessing in itself. Like, okay, so I didn't say the whole 4 years, but the memories that I made, the connections. And that's what it's about. It's about, the older I get, it's more about the connections and how I made people feel.
Yes.
That's the thing. Because when we're 17, 18, we don't think about how we might make people feel.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I live my life now trying to be like, you know what? I want to be my best self. I want to make sure I leave my house or I'm interacting with people with a heart of gratitude.
Yes.
And I think gratitude is like such a big, beautiful word because we sometimes as people just go through life. We're just going. We got things to do, and it's something that's learned. It's a culture thing. It's like a society thing. We just go. We don't take the time to really express or show gratitude.
Yes, gratitude is essential.
Others. And I tell my clients this. I'm like, sometimes we have to give our adult selves permission to do things, right?
Yes.
So that's what I mean. I give myself permission to be upset. I give myself permission to be happy. I give myself permission to have my moment where I'm just like freaking out or whatever. I give myself permission. And it's so crazy because we're adults, right? When we were children, we always had to ask for permission. Can I do? Can I have? May I go? May I get? Whatever. This is taught to us as children.
Yes.
And something happens when you turn 18 where it's like, I'm an adult. I don't need to ask no one's permission for nothing. Shit on that. I'm gonna do what I want to do. And then I do it. But we then become a certain age and life happens. And if we're really taking the time to slow it down and pay attention to ourselves, we don't give ourselves permission to feel. We don't give ourselves permission to do things that seem easy, like express gratitude, express humility, express kindness. And so I tell my clients all the time, give yourself a break because we all know the world is hard. Life can be a lot. There's a lot of things happening right now. And so sometimes we have to give ourselves a break, and then we have to give ourselves permission. And it's so empowering when I can tell my adult self, I give myself permission to X, Y, and Z. And then because now it's mine and I'm going to do it. So just, if it's anything, just always remember, give yourself permission, because we stopped doing that when we turned 18. We didn't think like, I don't have to ask for permission for nothing. I'm an adult. No, no, no. Healing doesn't stop. Life situations don't stop. And some things are hard and we don't want to deal with it. We don't want to give ourselves the permission. I can give myself permission. It's just me. You take away everyone I love. You take away my house, everything. It's just me at the end of the day. Therefore, I have to be kind to myself. Therefore, I have to give myself permission. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
And
do.
that's the biggest thing that I've learned and what I work with my clients on. It's like we don't think about that. Why would we? We're not taught to think about that. So that makes sense to me. But if we slow it down and we're in the moment and we actually connect to ourselves and we give ourselves that permission, shoo, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate that, Michelle. TT, we love you too.
Hey, sis.
You already know, man. TT was with us.
Yes. Don't worry, TT. I ain't going to tell no stories.
Yeah, TT was with us. Nobody ain't mess with TT, but TT was the stuff for the people. TT ain't made no.
TT strong.
Yeah, she won't play. She was very mature, like
Very.
she was very mature, like
And
she
she
was.
has a confidence. I don't think I've ever told her this. So she's watching, she's going to hear this. And mind you, she is my best friend. She's been my best friend since I was 18. And TT always had and has a confidence about her. Because you know how we see things in other people and we wish that we had that boldness, that strength. And she has this boldness and this confidence to say the things
That she want to say at 18.
And I used to be like, God, I wish I could do that.
At 18, she was 18.
Right.
Yeah.
And I like, why can't I want to be able to say those things and still walk like, you know what? Hey, it is what it is.
Hey, TT was on a mission. She did her thing. She was always full of love. She was
Oh,
amazing. You know what I'm saying?
and she's so kind. And
Yes.
she's a grit about her that I think is so beautiful that I think a lot of people wish they could have.
Yeah,
And
TT.
she's grown into this amazing mother.
Yes, I see her.
I mean, like, she's amazing. And it's
Yes.
so thankful. And that's why I always say, like, yeah, I was only at St. Aug for a year, but the people that I connected with, I'm still talking to today, and they've helped me grow. We all shape each other, even if it's just a small little interaction. We all leave an imprint on someone.
Yeah, and we always remember how a person made us feel. You know what I'm saying? So when I think about you, I think about your warmness. I think about how exciting you were. Like you was full of life. You was adventurous. You were so funny. I think about your affectionate laughter, and I just think about how unique you were, and you still are, and you was always kind to me. So I always remember how you made me feel, and I will forever remember that.
Thank
Thank you for making St. Aug amazing for me.
Oh my gosh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
I appreciate you.
I mean, and it's so interesting because I remember when you had told me that before, I really had to, like, when I told you, like, I was like in tears when you was telling me all that. Because we don't think about things like that. And so it makes us want to be more mindful, more cognizant of how am I showing up in the world? How is my presence uplifting someone? Because I always want to uplift. I don't want to be the one who's like, oh yeah, she said this and made me feel a certain type of way, X, Y, and Z. Like that, I don't want that. Maybe when we were younger, we didn't care, really, to be honest, we didn't care.
Mhm.
But being older, it's like, wait, I want to make sure that because the world is so unkind.
Yes.
The world is so unkind. People are just so mean. And we can even get into like just being existing as a Black person. The world's even meaner. So it's like, how can I show up and give the gratitude and be kind? Because words mean things. And so the older I get, I make sure that my words don't sting in a negative way. Because I
Facts.
feel what I'm saying. So it really helped me just be more mindful. Because we move through the world, we're not mindful all the time. We're not.
We're not mindful at all. Like now that I'm at the age that I am and
Mm-hmm.
I'm understanding me more and I'm walking in my truth, I'm walking in my purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that I do it with attention. Like I
Mm-hmm.
have to be intentional. The way that I think,
Right.
everything, you know what I'm saying? Because it affects me. The law of attraction is real.
Right. It is. It is. The law of attraction is real. Karma is real. And I think it also just goes back to one day I think sometimes people act a certain way based on how they were treated, obviously, what they went through. If I grew up in a situation where it was like, oh, we going back and forth and you're going to hear what I have to say and it is what it is or whatever, whatever, I'll probably, if I don't really take the time to learn me and my triggers, I'm probably going to be that way as an adult, an older adult, so on and so forth. And then it's a cycle. So then
Mm-hmm.
behavior, that response will continue.
Yes, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree because it's like, when you a child, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. It's so many rules as a child, it's so much stuff that you conditioned to not do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we're put in a box.
Mm-hmm.
We're put in a box and it's like we don't know that we're put in a box until we get older.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And we're like, man, so sometimes we're like, man, we was brought up on love, but sometimes we was brought up on love and survival.
And that's the thing. It's really being aware and being intentionally aware. Because we can be like aware, but are we intentionally trying to be aware of how our upbringing, our past, even those interactions shaped us as the person that we are today? And that's the thing I was saying earlier. We're so used as a society to just move quick. Don't think about it. Just move on. Go forward. It happens so much in the Black community.
Brush it under the rug.
Yeah, it's okay. You'll be fine. Because
Mm-hmm.
we're taught as Black people to just keep going. But then we also have to realize that Black people go through things and things affect us. And
Yeah.
and so we're not taught to process and deal, but we're more so taught to, it's okay, you got it because you're strong.
Pray about it.
Pray about it. You're tough.
Yeah.
Your ancestors went through X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
And were they really though? Because I don't think they were.
Yeah. Cause now when you think about it, Ebony, it's like I'm soft. Like, I mean, but it's like with mental health, it's like it's nothing wrong with you. Pray about it. It's nothing wrong with you. Pray about it. But it's like, bruh, it takes more to prayer with mental health.
Right.
You got to get help.
Get the help. It's not embarrassing. It doesn't mean that you're soft. It doesn't mean that you're weak. And I think as a Black community, we are taught that one, you don't share what's going on in your life or in your family unit. You keep it private, you keep it together. And then there's that thought about, oh, strong Black woman, strong Black man. You have to be strong. You got to just push through. Tough times don't last always. We shall overcome. All the things that we've heard. Granted, true. But dang, I'm really not dealing with some things that I've gone through, and it's showing in my reactions. It's showing in how I show up in the world. It's showing how I interact in my relationships. It's showing how I raise. I don't have kids yet, but for someone who does have kids, it's showing how I raise my kids, how I speak to my kids. It's showing up as how I speak to myself. That goes back to us not slowing down and being intentionally aware of us, our triggers, our body, our thoughts. You can't keep ignoring things forever, because guess what? I always tell people this. Um, it's like a metaphor, if you will. So imagine like putting water in a tea kettle, and then you put it on the stove and you turn the oven on, right? And then you're waiting, right? How do you know when the water's hot with the tea kettle?
And you see the smoke.
It does smoke, and there's like a
Yeah.
whistle. It's hot. It's
Yeah.
blasting out. That's us. So that's our body. We just keep adding things onto us, and eventually it comes out hot, it comes out steamy, and it comes out loud. We are literally walking teapots because we're just waiting. We wait for things to boil. And we can only hold things in for so long before it starts coming out. That's why I tell people, before we become that big hot steaming whistle, let's deal with some stuff now. It still might come out, but it won't be, it might not be as hard, as fast, as overwhelming. Deal with stuff now. Let's talk about it. And I tell my Black clients, my Black adult males and females, because we do a lot of stuff, we're trying to undo a lot of generational stuff. Because they have, their parents are still with them, and it's like their parents were like, "Why are you even in therapy? Why are you talking to a stranger? What's wrong with you? You're gonna be okay." I got things that's going on because my thoughts. I don't like my thoughts. I don't like the way I'm feeling. I've tried that way of just keep going. Don't think about it. Because guess what? When you say I'm not going to think about it, I don't want to deal with it, it still goes back here. Nothing goes out of your mind. It just goes subconscious. And so you don't think about it. That protects us so we don't have to think about it. Because who wants to think about bad stuff? Most people don't at all. But guess what? Subconscious, it doesn't go away because it's going to manifest in a way that you didn't see coming. And then one day you're going to be like, why am I acting this way? Or someone's going to be like, what's wrong with you? And you're like, I don't know. Oh, because all that shit that you had going on before that you kept pushing to the side, you didn't want to deal with. That's that stuff that you forgot about, on top of the other life things. And so I tell my Black clients, I always say, thank you for even wanting to talk to me, because I know how it can be. There's still this stigma around Black mental health. And I'm so glad that there's a push to encourage people to seek mental health, because this is what I tell people. You don't got to be crazy, whatever that means to them, to talk to a therapist. You don't. And I think people have this idea of like what therapy looks like. I think people have an idea of like, oh, well, if I tell people I'm talking to a therapist, they're probably gonna think I'm hearing voices and this, that, and the third. Not all the time. And even if you were, okay, great. That's a thing. Like, it doesn't make you abnormal. Your brain chemistry is just different. At the end of the day, when it comes to mental illness, your brain chemistry is just different. Genetics plays a factor. Hereditary things play a factor. Trauma can influence things. It's okay.
Yeah, you're right. So she says it stays with you and comes out in other forms when suppressed.
Yes. And sometimes it takes you for like a loop. Like, you're like, oh my God, where'd that come from? And then I tell my clients, when that happens, those strong reactions, go back, because there's always links that can be made. There's always connections. And let me tell you, we are human and we are creatures of habit. And we usually do the same thing consistently, but we're not being intentionally aware of our patterns. We're not aware of our triggers. We have automatic thoughts, things that just happen. And once you start to understand how your brain works and the things you can put in place to kind of soften some of the stuff that might come out, it might be helpful. But it's one of those things where it's like, you got to try.
But yeah, it's just like just being a Black person. Man, like I can speak on myself being Black and a lesbian. On top of that, it's just like it's things that you will never understand that people go through. You know what I'm saying? People attacking you, people, you know what I'm saying, attacking you with the very thing that you was raised up on.
Mm-hmm.
So we raised up on religion,
Mm-hmm.
so we raised up in going to church and reading the Bible and different things like that. And then when you start growing into your most authentic self,
Mm-hmm.
that Bible is basically, the people that you grew fond of and you love, they start attacking you with
Mm-hmm.
the very thing that you was raised up on. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, me personally, I'm still, you know what I'm saying, understanding how to use my voice
Yes.
and understanding that this platform is, we gonna talk about everything. Is no sugarcoating anything. Is no, I, it's for, I just got to tell the truth about everything, and experiencing stuff. Because I used to do what you was just saying. I put things in my mind like I felt like that I deserved it.
Mm-hmm.
I allowed people to treat me a certain way because I felt like that I deserve it, because I wasn't living how they were living. You understand what I'm saying? So it was like, it was so crazy. Now I'm older. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
why did I do that to myself? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I just can't believe one point in my life I was just like, okay, it is. Okay, you right. Okay. Okay. People were calling me demons, and I'm like, okay, I need to get help. I need, you know what I'm saying? So now I look at myself, it's nothing wrong with me. You
Mm-hmm.
feel me? But it took me a minute to get here.
Yep. Yep.
It took me a minute to get here. So that's all I gotta say. Ebony, is real out here, man. And I'm glad that you in a position to help people. You know what I'm saying? So that's everything, man. And like, I'm gonna just keep telling you, I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you, bro.
Thank you. And I tell my clients, I say, you already have it in you, but sometimes life happens, and life happens often. Life shows up, right? So it's kind of like another little scenario I like to use with my clients. Is like, when you take your laundry, it's like a whole bunch of laundry out of the dryer and you just put it on your bed, right? And you're like going through stuff and you're like, I know I have the match to this one sock. I just don't know where it is, but I know I saw it. I know I saw it when I took it out the washer and put it in the dryer. Like, I was like, oh, there's a match. It's right there with it. And so then you gotta go like this. Where's that damn sock? Shit, I know I saw you pulling things off, pulling things off. That's the junk that's inside of us. That's those negative experiences that we have. That's those the things that we believe about ourselves. Those negative thoughts, those negative self scripts that run through our head. But we have all that beautiful stuff in us. It's just covered with stuff. I don't need this. I don't need guilt. I don't need shame. I don't need low self worth, low confidence. I don't need this because I want to get to myself. My self-determination, my resiliency, my beautiful self-thoughts that I tell myself. I want to get to my strength. I want to get to that beautiful stuff that's there. I just got to get through all the other stuff to get to it. And so the other stuff is what we work on. And we try to reconcile it, and we try to work through and make those connections. And then eventually all that beautiful stuff that's already in us comes out. And sometimes it can be scary. It's like, whoa, where did this come from? Hell, yeah, that's you. That's that change. And we have to and sometimes change is scary. This is what I do sometimes too. I draw a picture. Let me see. I draw my terrible, terrible skills. So sometimes I'll draw a picture for my clients. This is going to be real terrible. So the point will be there though. Okay. Old, new. Okay. So it's kind of like this. It's awful. I know. So pretend this is you, and you're like a little like crossroads almost. The old ways of doing and thinking, what we're used to, the patterns, what we know is right, tried and true. I know how this way of thinking works out. I know how this way of reacting works out. This is familiar. This is what I know. I
Mm-hmm.
want to work out. And then we have the new. undoing this old stuff, undoing this old way of thinking, the old patterns, the old way of moving and operating in the world. If I try this, maybe it can lead to something that's a little healthier. Maybe that can lead to something that increases my confidence, my self esteem, my self worth, my strength. Or I can do what I know. Sometimes people do what they know, patterns. This works for me. I've been doing it forever. It's scary to do something new because the reaction is going to be different. The response is going to be different. Now we're starting to get beautiful boundaries with people. Now we're going to start putting ourselves first. This is scary because I've never done it before. We don't like to do things that we don't know how to do. So it's like, where do you want to go? What you going to do? You're going to keep doing the old stuff? Okay. It's worked, but it hasn't.
Right. And it's like the new stuff is like it feel good, but it's so different.
Right.
And it's like sometimes it feels so it's just so uncomfortable. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's why it's like I have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. I want to stay over here on the new side.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? I want to stay over here on the new side. You know, sometimes your lower self will come and with self-sabotage and
Yes.
different thoughts and
Uh,
different things, and you say, nope, I know who you self-sabotage. Nope, I know who you are. Like I really be having whole conversations.
yep. Good.
Like I really have whole conversations like, nope, I'm better. Nope, nope, you're not messing with my thought pattern. Nope. So I'll say to myself, I only manifest positive thoughts into my reality. I only manifest positive thoughts into my reality. That's what I continue to say. I
Yep.
say that. I talk to myself in the shower. I talk to myself in the mirror.
Good.
I'm always telling myself positive affirmations, fam. So yeah, but
And
it
then
was hard.
it is hard. And sometimes, but then I'm always like, follow the evidence. Follow the evidence of what works. Because if you sometimes especially when it comes to like anxiety and things of that nature, we have anxious thoughts. We have that same script that plays in our brain, the doubt, the worry, the ruminating of like the making up scenarios and stuff like that
Mm,
causes a whole lot of turmoil. I'm human. I struggle often sometimes with like anxious thoughts. I can say that 100%. And so, like you said, I have to work a little harder to bring myself down. You see what I'm saying? And so sometimes it's more so just we can acknowledge what we're feeling. I always tell people acknowledge it. Don't try to push it out because I don't believe in toxic positivity. That don't work. Acknowledge what you're feeling, give it the right word, and then do something different in that moment. It's hard, but if we follow the evidence enough, it we could look back and be like, "Oh, that works. This new way of doing stuff works." Follow the evidence. I always tell people that follow the evidence. If you had to take something to court right now with the evidence that you're using in this old way of thinking and doing and patterns, you might not win your case. So I'm going to bring in the logic.
mm,
I'm going to bring out, okay, here it is. This is actually what worked. Here's my evidence. This is actually the reality. So I always tell people, hey, it's two roads. What are we going to do? Old or new? And it's okay. And I always tell people, often we can do this new, beautiful stuff, this new way of doing. We're healing, we're growing, we're maturing, we're breaking cycles. And then sometimes life shows up and we revert to the old way of doing. And I said, that's okay because we're infallible human beings. We're not perfect. Some things happen fast and it's like, oh shit, how did I get here again? It's not even about how far you go back, it's how quick you come back.
mm.
That's what I tell my clients. I'm like, it doesn't matter if you took 10 steps back. Did you sit in that shit for a while? Or did you come back quicker this time than you did in the past? Follow the evidence because you were doing beautiful stuff before. Life showed up. I went back to old ways, thinkings, and doings and operating, but I didn't sit in it for too long.
Mm.
Back quicker this time. Something's working. So that's going to give me a feeling to keep going, to do this
Yes.
way. But we don't make those connections.
Connections until it's too like we don't make the connections until it's like we have an aha moment like, oh,
Right? Like, oh, dang. Sheesh.
I get it now. That's what I say. I
Yeah.
get it now.
Hindsight's 2020.
Yeah, yeah, that's
All of,
that's everything.
it is. So all of that, like, okay, sometimes we go back and we do the old way, the old, the unhealthy stuff, the old us. You know, it never goes away, but it's how quickly I bounce back that time. Did I sit in it for like a day, or did I sit in it for like 5 hours? Happens again. Okay, I came back quicker this time. Happens again down the road. Okay, back. I came back even faster. Some things working, and I say celebrate that. That's a win.
Yes, it is. It is a win. Just knowing that you able to come back, even though you going back to the old ways. Okay, we can't sit and waddle and like, man, I didn't know.
Mm-mm.
Snap back. We over here on a new way. You feel what I'm saying? And we gotta start, you know what I'm saying, clapping and patting ourselves on the back when we,
Oh yeah,
doing great things.
because we don't celebrate our wins, and I think sometimes we're led to believe as a society that wins are like these big, grand, big moments. Like, oh, I got this job, that's a win, or I bought this thing, that's a win. And it's like for some people, it's like, you know what? I was in a depressive cycle and I was able to take a shower. I couldn't do that last month.
Mm, mm.
That's a win.
Yes,
You
you're
know,
right.
I was having anxious thoughts this time and I was able to reframe it quicker and lower my anxiety. That's a win for me. I didn't respond in a way to somebody who triggered something
Whew.
the way that I wanted to respond because I'm trying to do this new way of doing. That's a win for me. Because, you know, a lot of us be like, you know, I'm about to get the fuck off.
Listen, you know
Uh,
me. Listen,
me, I
I
will
want to be petty sometimes, with people.
often.
Yeah, I really want to be petty, and then I catch myself because sometimes I want to tag. I can't do that because Ebony, I really have come from a mighty long way with social media, right?
Hmm.
Because the way that I think about different things, people don't think like that. Like I don't like likes, right? I don't like lights because lights is like low vibration, right? So
Hmm.
I like love and caring and laughter because that's the vibration I look at it on. You feel me? But everybody don't look at it like that.
Right.
Ebony, I was erasing people left from right because they was liking my stuff. Come on, like that was like then I had to just get it together. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it even worth putting energy in? But it took me a minute.
Yeah.
It took me a minute, so that's a big win for me.
Yeah. Celebrate it and own it because it's yours. And here's the thing with wins, no one can take it from you. No one can take that back from you because it's yours. Big, small, medium, whatever. That's yours. So you own it and you celebrate it because sometimes we feel like no, we don't get celebrated. Or people don't say, "Oh, good job, congratulations, that was awesome, good for you." You know, as people, we like that validation, that external validation. We do as a society. We want people to tell us we did a good job.
I
That
sure do.
that's just human nature. We were conditioned through upbringing to see that that means I'm doing good. Somehow or some way along down the road, we weren't really taught to celebrate it ourselves because, again, like I said earlier, take away everyone in your life and it's just you. How are you going to show up for yourself, and how are you even capable of patting yourself on the back
Now I am.
now? But I tell people who look for that stuff from everyone else, like, oh, tell me I'm doing good, tell me I'm pretty, tell me I'm this, tell
That's
me.
me. That's
That used to be
yeah.
me too. And some days I struggle.
Mhm.
You know, it goes back, a lot of these things go back to childhood.
Yeah.
Because sometimes our families had the best intentions of raising us. But we now understand that our parents are people. You know, take away mom and dad, the title. They're, for me, Mary and Tommy. And, you know, my father died a couple years ago. So Mary and Tommy, two people who had a whole life
Before us.
outside of each other
Yeah.
and before me. So sometimes when we see, and then the older we get, the closer it seems like we get in age. Like it's like, oh, we kind of close in age. We ain't that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you in my 4-year-old brain, like, oh, my mom is so old. Nah, mama's about to be 70, and I'm about to be 38. We ain't that far apart in age. And you see them as people because they were people always, but people first. And so a lot of it is just like really recognizing and seeing and doing things differently. And really at the end of the day, owning our stuff. owning the wins, owning the successes, making those changes, because it's hard to do. It's
And
hard
it's
to change.
yeah, and it's hard to the wins. Like I could celebrate everybody else because it's easy for me to clap for everybody else. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But it
Uh-huh.
took a minute for me to clap for myself. So it was like I could clap for myself. Oh, I could clap for myself. When I learned I could clap for myself, I just clap for myself all the time. I'm doing good. I talk to myself. Like I encourage myself. Like I'm my biggest cheerleader.
Yep. We have to be. We have to, because if we strip away all the people who love and care about us, family, friends, kids, it's just us. I struggled with that, if I could be honest. So my father died in 20 Cinco de Mayo of 2019. And me and dad, I was bona fide daddy's girl. Loved him to death. He died of cancer. He got diagnosed January 2019 and he died May of 2019. So it was very quick, it was very fast. And I remember struggling because he would always tell me those things, very validating. Like, oh, you're great, you're amazing, you're pretty, you're this, I'm so proud of you, blah, blah, all the things. I could do anything. I could draw this picture. You're like, oh, Abby's so great. Thank you. It looks like complete shit, but like, you feel what I'm saying? And then he died. And I said, and my mom and I have a great relationship. My mom's still alive. You've met my mom. You
Of
met my dad.
course, my mama and your mama went to college together.
And I remember when he died, and one of my thoughts was, I have no one who's going to be proud of me anymore. I have no one who's going to say, good job, Ebony. I have no one who's going to get excited over the littlest things. A picture like this. And it forced me to, one, grow up, forced me to really think about why I do things. Am I doing things intentionally for myself because I want to do them? Or am I doing things because I want others to tell me that I'm doing good? I might know I'm doing great. I might know I'm smart and pretty, all this, whatever. But what's my motivation? And then when my dad died, I was like, I have no one. He's going to tell me good job. He's going to say, good job, Ebby. He's going to be like, Ebby, you look real good today, girl. Who's going to say that? I had to learn to say those things to myself. And it is a struggle, not a lot, but it's a lot to undo. You feel what I'm saying? Because now I have to, like I was saying, own my stuff. I have to, like you said, be my biggest cheerleader. I'd be like, good job, Ebony. You did good on that. Way to go. You did this thing, you did that thing. And yeah, people were saying, like, oh, good job, whatever. Because sometimes we look for like a certain level of excitement. And when we don't have that level of anything else from anybody who we love and we cherish and who is, meaningful and genuine, it's like, oh, I feel like you don't care.
It ain't the same energy.
It's not the same energy. But then I was like, I have to bring that energy because it's in me.
Yeah.
I have to get through some stuff because it's in me.
Yes.
And so then I was like, and I tell myself, I'm very aware and cognizant. Like when I share these new things I'm trying to do with my practice or with the practice I work with in my future plans, I have to remember, like, okay, people are well-intentioned. People love me. People care about me. I don't have to seek something that I know another person isn't capable of giving because I'm capable of giving it to myself. And I struggled for many months with that. I remember I used to work for Montgomery County government, and I came in the office and I had on like this really pretty dress and like some blue flip flops or whatever because I was like, oh, look good. And my coworker was like, why did you wear those flip flops with that dress? And I started crying instantly. You would have thought I was out of my mind. And I was like, I just want my dad here to tell me I look pretty. It sounds so conceited. It sounds so whatever to maybe other people, but that was the relationship that we had because when you get certain messages from this high,
Yes.
from 2 years old to I was 34 when he died, I believe. And then all of a sudden it just stops. You're kind of like, what? It's like a party goes because you can't ever have that again. So I had to learn to speak kindness to myself. I had to learn to say those things that he would tell me to myself. And then that way I believed it more. And I owned it because I'm using my voice. And it's mine. And no one can, like, yeah, my dad's gone, but, and like, I'll never hear him say those beautiful things to me ever again, at least in this lifetime. I learned that I can own my voice. I can say those beautiful things to me. I can pat myself on the back when I did a small win.
Yeah.
And provide validation for self. And it's a learned thing.
Yeah, because
It's a learned thing.
Because the validation, I was always seeking validation from everybody.
Yep.
That was my biggest thing, you know what I'm saying? And just being with a woman that she validate her own self. You feel what I'm saying? So just imagine dating someone that's already don't really need, she validate her own self, she love her own self, she understand all that, and then she basically meeting me where I'm at, and I'm like, I need to hear this words of affirmations.
Yep.
I need words of affirmations, words to tell me you love me, words of affirmation. This is me, like, for real, like, words of affirmation. I need it. So I'm just sitting there like, that's what I need. I need that. That's what I thrive off. You feel me? So now it's like, I tell myself that, like, yo, I'm beautiful. Yo, I'm a king. I'm a queen. I talk to myself just like that. I'm amazing. I'm full of love and light. You know what I'm saying? I'm amazing. That's how I had to talk to myself. I'm beautiful. I'm beautiful.
And you know what? I want us as people to be able to say those beautiful things to ourselves, to validate ourselves. Like, why aren't we, again, goes back to give yourself permission to say those beautiful things to yourself. Give yourself permission to validate yourself. And if you don't know how to, that can be taught, but it's uncomfortable. But yes,
it's real uncomfortable.
It is. Words of affirmation is like the biggest. I think that used to be my love language at one point, where it's like, tell me you want me. Tell me I'm beautiful. Tell me I'm pretty. Tell me I'm smart.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
I need these words. I want them. Oh, and it's mine. And when you tell me, I still don't believe you. So now here we go. Now it's exhausting. Now it's codependency.
Yes.
I haven't healed from my stuff.
Yes.
Connections and links to my stuff at you to lift me up. I'm draining you out. It's like, I told this girl she's pretty. Shit. At least 15 times a day, sir.
Yeah.
But,
so
I'm saying, but it doesn't it makes sense, but like logically, it's like I should be able to tell myself this beautiful stuff. But if I'm not taught to tell myself, if there's not an emphasis on Black children to tell themselves these beautiful things, how can I do it as an adult?
Yeah.
I never done.
So I most definitely tell my nephew that, like, when he was affirmations, he know that he's a young king. He knows that, you know what I'm saying, he's amazing. He knows that he's a genius. He knows all of these things at 9 years old. So I make sure that, you know what I'm saying, he grows up to understand all the validation he needs is from himself.
Right.
You understand? So that's what I'm raising. Even though I was looking for validation, I don't want him to be like I was. I don't want him to be needy with people. I don't want to be nothing like I was. But I have great qualities, but I just want him to be a better version of me. But like, yeah, that's my love language. Words of affirmation. You could I don't even care about gifts. You could say something nice to me, and it just makes my whole day. Like, is everything to me just a little bit. Like, Kendra, I'm proud of you. Like, somebody called me the other day and they was like, yo, it just made me feel so good. It was just a conversation, but I was grateful for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm still learning how to validate myself, understanding that phone calls may not come. Understanding people might not be with me. Understanding I have to go alone. Understanding the door is narrow just for me. I can't bring everybody with me because that's what I want to do. Want to bring everybody with me. I don't care if I have to do all the work, but I want everybody to win, but I gotta win.
And You have, and then everyone else has to see themselves winning. That's the thing. It's internal. It's here. Because I'm gonna win regardless. I see my future. I know it's bright. I have a lot of beautiful dreams and goals. I'm bringing myself through these open doors. But anyone else that I try to bring with me, a lot of people can't come with me because they might not know what I'm trying to do. They just want to hang on.
Yeah, nobody can't, like, now my mindset is now like, no, nobody, no, you got to put in the work too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to put in the work too. I still love you. I still care about you. But if you can't, it's no free rides. But I had to come to that. I had to realize that, Ebony. I really did.
And it's a beautiful thing once you realize it. And then now we have the insight. Now we understand. And now we can move forward and keep changing.
Yeah. So do you want to act like a baby now?
Baby.
Oh my God. It's so cute. We had to do it, Ebony.
People probably
I don't. Hey, what song? Hey, what song we
Mr. Telephone Man.
Come on, Mr. Telephone Man. It's something wrong with my life. You ain't even singing.
I get a click every
time. Man, that was our group, Ebony.
Girl, we loved us some New Edition.
Yeah, we didn't care. We was taking over. You remember? Sorry, not my. Hey, we used to be getting it. Yeah, sorry, you're not my kind of girl.
You're not my.
Man, it was everything. Yo, that was us though. Like
that song that remember BET had Midnight Love, because we used to watch that all the time.
What song?
Isis, Single for the Rest of My Life. I used to wear that song out. You hear me? Because it was on a college campus. I don't know who I was talking to at the time, and if anyone remembers, shut up. And that song would come on and be like, if I can't have you, I should be single
for the rest of my life.
I was in love, child.
Girl.
Because that song would come on, I would just
I wasn't in love like that. So
I think it's like love is
but I won't when I was I wasn't freshman
love for real.
But I'm saying freshman year I was chilling, you feel me?
True.
But
I yeah.
But I remember, you know what I'm saying? I remember Ebony.
Oh God.
But it was good memories, you know what I'm saying? Ebony, and we could be real. We was drinking
a lot.
And we weren't even 21. Yo.
Hey.
Dude, was you in the room that night? When they had got me drunk. Was you there? It was
maybe.
Man, they had brought something. Man, I don't know, but we had a good time in St. Aug, man. That's the thing, you know what I'm saying? We able to have a conversation. We had to be our most original selves. I had to act like a baby. I just wanted you to act like a baby because you're so cute.
Yo, I'm a baby.
And then we used to see each other like, but nobody ain't never say nothing to us because we did what we did. But you used to come to the second floor, and you know what I'm saying, because that's where we stayed. But yeah, you stayed on the 4th floor, right?
Yep.
So it was amazing. Cookout was good to us.
Ooh, I could get me a tray right now. Oh my God.
What tray would you be getting right now if you could?
Oh, I think I used to get, I wasn't like the chili cheeseburger tray or something obnoxious with some hash browns and hush puppies and fries.
So did you get the half lemonade, half tea?
No, I never did the half and half. I would just get straight. I would get the sweet tea, I think.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
I would eat it all the time. Oh,
Yeah,
Waffle
cookout.
House. Sheesh.
Look, we was right in the hood. Nobody ain't bother us.
We really were.
We
And we
were
were just
walk.
walking around all willy nilly. We didn't care.
Nobody ain't bother us or nothing. Like, bro, we was really in the hood.
Were. We were. It was like right out, like those, I think we were apartments or something.
Yeah, apartments and the stores across.
Yeah.
You
Oh, no.
know, yep.
But
So
there was a mom and pop store that was like, because we was in Boyer Hall.
yeah, it was right.
Pop store right behind us.
Yeah, and they had those hot dogs.
They had the hot dogs and had them chicken sandwiches.
Yeah, it was
And
amazing.
I used to get me a chicken. They'd be like, "Oh, you back again?" And me and this guy, he was a friend. They used to call him Harlem Shake because he was always Harlem shaking.
You talking about Dave.
Maybe was he always Harlem shaking?
And was he short and he was a dancer?
Kind of, sort of, yeah. I feel like it was him I would go with, or maybe it was, I don't know.
Man, listen, I
But we
don't know.
sandwiches and French fries. I always get, and if I didn't get a pack of Newports, I would get some
Yeah,
plastic.
we was smoking too.
We were
We was
terrible.
smoking.
We were
We was
terrible.
smoking cigarettes. Cause you know we used to pack them mugs. And then we used to put the fan in the window and we'll smoke in the room too.
Yep.
We,
This is coming from someone who won Miss Boyer Hall.
yes, I remember. You did and did. Go ahead.
I can't believe it.
Why not?
Because I remember
Why
because I feel like I remember them asking, like, I guess every dorm had it. And I remember I wrote the speech, but there were like a couple girls who tried out for it. Because remember we had to read the speech in front of everybody? Were you because it's like in the lobby. And I had like an acronym or something. So it was like I wrote like Boyer Hall, like this. Oh God. So it was like Boyer Hall, and it was like beautiful, outrageous, youthful, good grief. Like literally a word for every letter in Boyer Hall.
yes.
And then I remember I left. I went to like a computer lab or something in the library. I forget. And someone came in and was like, "Eboni, you won." I was like, "I did?" Man, I ran back. I ran so fast. My mom was so happy.
Yeah, I mean, that was amazing. And then homecoming was cool too.
Yes.
You remember the concert?
Yes. I got the picture. Oh, I wish I had that picture.
So yo, who was there? Who was at the concert? It wasn't Little John, was it?
I think it was Lil Jon because I got a picture autographed by him.
Okay, so it was Little Girl. We used
On the
to.
East Side Boys, yep. Because I remember my two other friends that I was close with. They were like, "Oh, come here, come here." And so we walking back behind the stage, and there's Lil Jon and the East Side Boys. And he had his little pimp cup and stuff, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Let me hold it." I was like, "Can I hold this, please?" He's like, "Yeah, blah blah." I was like, "Okay." And we took a picture, and they autographed it for us. I still got it.
Yeah, because it was in the gym, right?
Yes,
Yeah, so we did a lot, you know what I'm saying? But Ebony, you are welcome to this platform anytime, like anytime. Like I'm just grateful to be in your presence. I love you.
I love you too.
I love you. You already know the vibes. You sis for life with me.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate. Okay, let me just ask before I go. Right, I'm gonna ask you one question.
Okay.
If it's any advice that you would give someone right now that is afraid to go see a therapist, right? What advice would you give that person right now?
Choose you always.
Okay.
Self. Choose your happiness. Choose the picture perfect idea that we have in our head of our best selves. Choose you first because you
Okay. And if people are in the Maryland area and they want to get, want you as a therapist, how can they get in contact with you?
so they can they can literally just put my name in Google because I'm on a lot
Okay.
of engines and stuff. I have a Psychology Today. page. And Cage, I can send you all the links as well. They can go to WashingtonPsychologicalWellness.com. And my profile's there as well. But there's help out there, and there's people who look like us who can help us. And that's the biggest blessing of all of it.
Yes.
You're not going to be judged. No one thinks you're crazy. It's confidential and it's for your benefit. So choose you always.
You heard that, people. Choose you always. It's a beautiful Sunday. Everybody just know that you're amazing. Hold on. Somebody said, do you take insurance?
Yes, so I take Blue Cross Blue Shield. And that's really the only one that we take right now. Then I have some private pay clients as well.
Okay. Yeah. So again, I'm gonna say it again. Thank you, Eboni, for coming to the platform. I appreciate you. Everybody that's out there. There's nothing wrong with seeing a therapist. Know that you're beautiful. Know that you're amazing. I hope everybody continue having a great day.
Yes.
And peace and blessings. And we out.